Broadcasting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, you're listening to the Low Blow MMA Boxing Podcast.
Jorge Hernandez with the Low Blow and Southwest Fight News, here with South Valley's own Angelica Chavez. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
What do you mean that's good?
Nice and good, how are you?
So, you just signed with the XFC,
Did.
atomweight division.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
I'm super excited. It's a great opportunity for me, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just finished, your last fight was with Invicta.
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, personally I think it was just the breakthrough year for women's MMA.
It was.
Did you feel the same way?
I definitely did. It was a huge year. Invicta has done so much for women's MMA, and so I'm glad that now UFC as well is having women, and I think that it's opening other organizations open up their eyes to women's MMA, and I think that this year is just going to thrive.
Now, Invicta, now the XFC. You have a teammate who's also with the XFC, and Joby Sanchez, who trains out of the same dojo. What's that like to be the lead representative for the gym, I guess, nationally?
It's super exciting. I'm definitely glad to be fighting with one of my teammates. I do best when I have a teammate on the card with me because we have a good training camp all the way together. We go all the way to the fight together. So I'm really excited about being able to fight on the same card just with Joby. That's the difference between Invicta and with XFC is that I'm glad we don't have a whole lot of girls that train with us, and so I'm excited to have the opportunity to fight on the same card with Joby.
Now, your last bout in Invicta too, it was a loss, but it was very impressive, and it was one of the fights of the year for women's MMA. A lot of people feel you've got to showcase your groundwork. Is that something that you've been working on?
We work on everything, and I just end up there in a lot of my fights, and so I've definitely made a case to work on keeping it standing now because I don't feel like I've been able to showcase my stand-up. A lot of people said, work on your boxing after the last fight, and I'm like, you just didn't see it, like I just didn't get to showcase it, and so I'm making it a point on trying to get in the habit of just staying standing so that I can show people what I can do standing.
So now I want to talk about whenever you enter the ring, or the cage I should say, and whenever you're introduced. One, you're always rocking that sarape with the Virgen de Guadalupe. Where does that come from, and how does your faith, I think, help you in training?
It definitely keeps me grounded, it just keeps me grounded, keeps my spirit whole, and it helps me get through my camp. There's times when you're training where you can break at any time, and MMA is so challenging, mind, body, and spirit, and I just think spirit is one of the main things that you have to have, and so the Virgen is definitely a part of my culture, and like we have a mural of her here in our dojo, and so she's definitely important to my family, my dojo, and to me myself, and so that's why I wear my sarape with her on it because she guides me into the cage.
And whose idea was that originally to
my mom.
wear that?
It was my mom. She actually made it for me as a surprise for my first fight, and so it was awesome. It was amazing. It was perfect.
Wow. What was that like to just receive that as a gift, though?
It was awesome. I felt definitely for my debut like I was ready. Like that kind of put the icing on the cake. Like it was a good feeling.
And also, the other thing I want to talk to you about when you enter the cage is whenever you're introduced, it's so rare to hear someone specializing in Kajikembo. You're one of the lead representatives now, national stage. Tell us about the art. Of course, it's a mixture of several arts. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that.
It's definitely an honor to be representing Kajikembo. I grew up with it. It's a part of my culture as well. It just has everything mixed together, the Kajikembo, the karate, the jiu-jitsu and karate, Ken, Kempo, karate, and the for boxing. So it has everything. It in and of itself is a mixed martial arts. And so it's a pretty worldwide organization, and my dad right now is one of the highest ranking in the system. And so it's definitely an honor to be wearing the Kajikembo logo for all my fights.
Yeah. You brought up culture. You were born and raised here in the South Valley. How does it feel to be one of the representatives of one of the people who made it, I guess?
Yeah, it's a really good feeling, and I definitely like to be a role model for all the kids that come from the South Valley, and it gives them a sense of guidance and something to look for, especially the girls. We have a lot of girls that train, little girls that train with us, and I just want to be a role model and to show them that you can go and do it, and you don't have to lower your standard or your classiness like some of the girls of MMA, but just to show them you can do it.
Now, you haven't fought much in the past 3 years, but yet you have a strong following, not just here locally, but around, I mean, pretty much internationally. Is that, I mean, does that drive you and motivate you more? And what do you attribute that to?
It definitely does, and I think that I attribute it to our dojo, my base. We are family oriented, and everything is about the entire family. So it's not just like one teammate comes to come see me. It's the teammate and their mom and dad and cousin, and everybody goes to go see me, and they support me 100%. And I love it. That's really one of the reasons that I do fight, is because I love that support, and I love just that feeling. It's just an awesome feeling. Even when I've lost one of my fights here locally that I lost, and when I came out to my crowd, they all still gave me a standing ovation. And so being that they love me unconditionally, it's just a reason to train harder and train better and just be more of an example, and I love it. And outside of the local area, I think it's just, it kind of just follows on those guidelines, you know. I know I have a lot of following because of my dad. My dad just has made such an impact in the world, really, you know, and so I think that I attribute a lot of it to my dad.
The 6 fights that you've had with, you know, just as a professional, 5 of them have been here locally. Only one of them, your last one, was outside of the state. Were there any nerves going into that, especially now that you're signing with the XFC, who primarily is based out of the East Coast?
Well, I'm excited. I didn't really have nerves, because once I get in the cage, nothing else matters but me and my opponent, and that's it. So that doesn't really necessarily make me nervous. I'm actually more excited to have the steady work. You know, this is a job. This is steady work for me. So I was stoked when my dad told me about the contract, and just that constant training, ready for fights, not fighting once or twice a year, you know? So I think that's really going to make a difference for me in my progression of my career and in my skills and everything, because I know I have one fight and then I'm going to be fighting not too soon after that, you know, pretty soon after that. And so I'm excited. Even if it's away or home, all of my people will still watch me here, and so I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to see you. Congratulations on your contract with the XFC. Finally, where can people reach out to you at? Online.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be good. This year's gonna be good, and I just want to thank my coaches, my dad, of course, Grandmaster Chavez, Rafael Barata, Professor Barata, and Coach Manny.
Yeah. And finally, Twitter or Facebook for your followers.
Let's see, what is it? I'm just getting used to it.
You don't tweet often?
No, I just started doing it. So let's see. I think I'm A Chavez. Follow me on Twitter at A Chavez MMA, and my Facebook is. Find it from my Twitter.
We'll put it right beneath here. So don't worry, there it is. It's right here. This is the Twitter, and this is her Facebook.
Alright guys, we're just getting with it how my dad says with the .com.
Angelica Chavez, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.